do the good old unmuting properly here. And greetings, everybody. Welcome to Fall of Avanswell. Are you ready for adventure? I hope everybody is. I'm once again joined by my wonderful players here who are ready for yet another adventure. We'll have to catch up, but I think we'll start with our basics that we always do, which is introductions for everybody, and we're going to get some D20s here to see our order, a little bit of initiative here.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we got Jessie, Joe, Wyrm. So we'll start with, of course, Calder. And today's question that I asked everybody is, if you had to do it, you could do it all again, what type of adventure would you want it to be and why?
Nice. I'm playing Calder Wrynn, human gunslinger, and now part alchemist. If he could do it all over again, he'd probably have been more of a wandering healer rather than a gunman.
Want to help people in a different way.
Yeah, but
It's an interesting kind
things don't always work out the way you think they do.
True. All right, let me turn it to Yosef then.
Hey, I'm Joe. I am playing Umbrin Wisespark, the Fetchling Animist, and he would have followed in his mentor's footsteps and became a cleric.
I feel like yours was the most predictable that question, but
Yeah.
also like I thought that you could have thrown a curveball. You know, but that's fine. It does make sense.
Yeah.
And then Wyrm.
Hi, I'm Diamond Wyrm, and I play Ixbanor, the awakened animal sorcerer alchemist. And if I could do it all again, I wouldn't. I'd stay and be a teacher at a college, or help with teaching at a college.
This adventure shit's dangerous, man.
It's very dangerous. I'd just be a teacher. That's makes sense. It's perfectly fine for Ixbanor. So, we missed last week. There was a line of enemy forces outside the city. Everybody got around it. That's the long story of the short of it. Some things happened. There was a bunch of encounters. But we're basically coming into this attempt where they circled wide around the entire city and like across the entire enemy line to basically get to the part of the river that has a shoreline with a small cliff where they could travel around, basically to hide their way to the city. In the meantime, Ixbanor had met with Quillick, the man who was kind of your handler. Handler's the best way of saying it.
Yeah, our what is it? CO,
Liaison.
our commanding officer.
Yeah, your CO, your liaison. You managed to catch up with him, and he basically traveled with you to go grab the other people and get them inside. That's where we left off. So, kind of switch off from that here, and we'll go to... Is that my light there? As you are finishing your journey across enemy lines to enter into the city. Three of you are kind of... Are you keeping your disguises now that you're in cover?
Well, there's still creatures around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we moved away from the other...
You are currently heading south along the coastline, so you are moving away from the siege line that the enemy has created. The Dread
I
Army.
meant the ones that showed up.
Yeah, you are heading away from them. They unloaded stuff, and basically the ship left. Last you saw.
Yeah. Well, we told them that we're in disguise. And I'm sure Ixbanor had mentioned it as well.
I mean, I will say it, but also just showing up as yourselves is in some ways easier, but
Yeah.
to identify. But
I'm
not
probably
saying
gonna
you should
keep
do
it up
weird.
till near the last moment,
Okay.
Yeah.
just because if
will
something
fall asleep.
else appears,
Mm-hmm. How long does
I
Talas
don't want to be.
last?
It was
I
2d
think-
12 hours, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's
So,
actually up to you.
oh. If it's 2d 12 hours, I guess I can roll for that. So let's just do that. 7. It's not
That's
through
actually-
7 hours.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Mhm.
Well,
It's pretty
mine's only an hour, so
Yeah.
Then yours is probably going to run out while you're here. I'm not going to lie. It did take you a
Yeah.
while to navigate the line, even if you are moving relatively fast, safely, as you are walking through campsites and such.
yeah.
Also, I think Talas's just last 7 hours. I don't think you can dispel it. Like we could dispel it, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
you can't turn it off.
All right. Moving across down the small cliff. As I said, this is about a 10-foot cliff that goes along the western the river here that heads north south, and you along the shore are traveling along a 5-foot bank. It's very obvious that the shoreline here probably only maintains itself mainly because it's also very heavily rocky and stone here. So it's kind of like you're not walking on easy sand kind of beach. It's kind of like a tough beach to kind of walk on. So when I say beach, I mean
Gravel.
shore, gravel, stony, kind of unpleasant to a degree on the feet. Anyway, I guess we can have Ixbanor. You'll notice some people coming down the thing. You and Jonas have made basically a small indent along the shore, a little farther outside of where the alarm was, that you've basically kind of made a thing, just in case not to be spotted. So you're kind of in the shadows there. But there's people
Okay.
approaching.
Can I tell who it is?
Give me perception.
Not great.
You have dark vision.
No.
The answer is no.
And I see them.
Give me a
That
perception
depends
check.
on if it's you.
The answer is also no.
Oh my freaking!
Wow.
I just gave them a stealth DC, it's the stealth skill, and I was gonna have to
rolled
check that.
A 1.
But you rolled a 1, so the answer would be no. You haven't noticed them.
That shit's
Talas see
tragic.
them.
If you want to roll Talas, sure. Talas might be perceptive. No.
Nope.
Calder,
It wasn't,
I believe
it
you
wasn't
don't
meant
have
to
dark
be.
vision. You can roll.
don't.
It's going to have a penalty.
Fair enough. I might have a
Still,
thing.
if you roll very well, you might notice.
Nat 20.
That's fair.
I mean, if I was
Next-
taking the seek action, I would have had a +2.
Next level, I get perception mastery.
Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, none of you see anything.
None of us rolled above a 10.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, I have no wisdom investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your class does have a high.
Question: Did you
perception.
bring my familiar with you?
You sent him in ahead of me.
Right.
The answer would be no. You did not meet with
Okay.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
You would assume that
'Cause then I'll be
Shadow
able to, like,
it's the
sense he's
commander,
here.
and
Yeah.
Shadow's still with the commander because you didn't.
Okay.
Ixbanor did not meet with the the commander. Jonas basically was like, "Hey, let's get them quick," you know.
Yeah, let's do
I
this
was-
quick before something bad happens.
Yeah.
Just trying to,
I
Yeah,
understand. It was a good question. Anyway,
This is
all right.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna roll something for an individual here. Let's see how well he rolls. He has a bonus. A 12 is okay. Okay, so Ixbanor, he's gonna kind of unsheath like a small dagger and then kind of point at it and point at the direction of sound, seemingly kind of get a hint from you if you notice anything.
Okay, I look in the direction he points.
I mean, it's the direction of the sound of people approaching.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you, he's hinting at, should we attack?
Be ready in case.
Okay.
I mean, in my mind, they could have been captured and told what they were going to do. So,
yeah.
You know?
Ixbanor, you can give me another perception check. I'll give this to you. We'll see what happens.
This is where I roll a 1.
Okay.
Oh, no.
A 24 is pretty good. So, all right. How do I want to play this out here? Because there's a lot of failures in here, but one success. And that could be pretty good here. So, here's how it's going to be happening. A group will be walking around the corner led by a bugbear and a hobgoblin.
None of them were a bugbear.
I thought that's what you get as Talas, because Talas was larger.
No, well, Talas is still medium.
But bugbears are still medium,
it was a
too.
hobgoblin. It was a hobgoblin.
Oh, it was hobgoblin? I thought for some reason you needed bugbear. So it's 2 hobgoblins?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then 2 hobgoblins are going to be walking around the thing. Sorry. That was me misremembering things there. Alright, I guess we'll do is... I'm going to roll a d20 and see how that rolls. That's a d12. Okay. So, Jonas is going to swing out with a dagger at the one hobgoblin, and, of course, miss. He rolled 6, not very well. The 3 of you are being attacked.
Well, do we see the? I mean, I have dark
I'm
vision.
going to
If
say-
he's close enough to hit us, I think we would see him.
Yeah,
You're the
there's
only
nothing.
one that can... probably... everybody roll me a d20. We'll see the order. We'll basically do like a soft kind of initiative, but not initiative. And then we'll kind of determine who gets to react and maybe warn people from murdering each other. Because
It's gonna be a
2
great
of
rolling
you
night. I can see it.
can't see anything. And the 3rd maybe sees something. And then, like, 2 of you do see something.
I don't have the formula for dark vision potions.
I actually do.
Well, you said
that's
just
a
a
formula.
Oh, well.
He was saying just a D20 though.
So
not
you got a 4.
an actual, yeah.
Yeah, but it also means I
Oh,
can't
sorry,
see
just
shit.
a d20. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
So I'll roll d20 for Talas then, too. I'll just roll an extra one.
So funny enough, I was
Talas
actually thinking about
is the one
drinking
who
one,
sees
so-
first. So Talas doesn't really know Jonas, but it is a human.
I feel like he'd pull a back Umbrin.
Yeah. So he's gonna give a hold of
He-
Umbrin, pull out his weapon, and be like, "It's one of the ones where we figured out how to detect."
It's one of the ones we figured out how to detect.
Yeah.
Jonas says that?
He thinks it's
So Talas says that.
Oh.
he thinks that Jonas is one of the traitors.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Yeah. So I don't know when I go, but I'm drinking a dark vision potion.
Umbrin, you would be
Oh, no.
next. You do see Jonas stabbing out from the shadows. I'll give you just a free perception. Let's see how well you see. You could just not notice anything, because it is at night, and they're attacked with shadows and stuff like that. That's actually a good roll. Hey, it's Ixbanor and Jonas. Maybe you can stop this as Talas
I'm
is
gonna
going
drop
to...
my disguise.
Uh-huh.
It's us.
Stupid. No.
So, Calder, it's up to you how to want to react. One of your allies is saying it's one of the people that's like an infiltrator.
I drop
and the other
in
is saying,
disguise.
like,
I go,
it's us.
it's us. Everyone stand down.
How do I know you're the real Umbrin? No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
How do I know
I have
the real Umbrin?
Tell me something only Umbrin would know. Where is she?
I like black nail polish.
Fuck. Right. No, I have no reason to not believe him, so I'll just chill. Just rest on my gun.
Initiative order was on your side because Jonas rolled a 1 on the dice, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
You
Oh, then I
basically-
drink a dark vision potion, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's them. Hold on.
Yeah, well.
You just said something.
Should...
We're making too much of a racket.
I couldn't see. I'm sorry.
If you could have gotten that potion, why didn't you do it earlier?
I didn't think about it.
Got him. Got his ass.
Are all of you alright?
I mean, could be better.
Where's Talas?
This is Talas. I point to the other hobgoblin.
Oh.
He drank a potion of disguise. He can't take it off right now.
To be fair, he's the one who gave us the potion of disguise, so.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Great.
He's gonna be
come
like
on.
that for like a day.
Let's get in the city. Catch up then.
Yes.
Alright. You'll easily then be able to finish the rest of the journey and enter into the city. You've made your way
Huzzah.
into... I want that.
Honestly, there was about a 5% chance in my brain that, like, he was gonna have it so we both saw another party.
Yeah.
I did actually consider that. I might have still done that if I'd remembered the correct ones.
Oh.
But since I didn't remember correctly, I'm just like, yeah, never mind now. I did think about doing that, though. Anyway. So, you can make your way into Birchlands once again. You've returned back to your home, but now under siege, and in a condition that is seemingly in not as good shape as you had left it. Yeah. As the city is now overcrowded with tents and such of people that have set up in amongst the streets, seemingly probably from people that had moved back into the city from the surrounding lands.
Yeah.
There was a lot of smaller villages and stuff, and scouts had gone out to warn. And it does seem as though much of the population hadn't escaped, like you perhaps hoped.
Yeah, that tracks.
Unfortunate.
I'm glad all of you are back. What happened?
So, we were able to identify a way to identify those. Yeah, identify a way to identify those who might be in disguise. Although, there is the point where it became very abundantly clear that that might not even be the biggest issue, because there just are people that wish to side with... it became abundantly clear that there are people who just wish to side with the Dread Army, who are just humans, humanoids. In fact,
that be
that's
possible?
apparent.
They seem so adamant on, well, slaughtering us to the last.
Probably their
We ran
fate
in-
would be sealed. They're just buying themselves moments more of time. Or at least they
to-
think they are.
We were temporarily shunted to after we were trapped. There was a trap set for us when we got to back to the lab. The only way out was through a portal that led us to the Swarplarns. And there was
Jeez.
indication there that humans are the ones who let in the Dread Army there.
At least a human. But before we go into further detail of our journeys, the three of us saw something rather concerning on what would be the western wall.
It'd be the north. It would be
Northern wall?
It'd be the north and towards the northern wall.
Okay. Towards the northern wall,
The
it
main
looks like...
basically, it's a side note to take a step back just to describe it. The larger two gates are the north and south. The larger two bridges, of course, are the north-south bridge because that connects between the two areas of the Wardlands here. And then, of course, the northern one led up more towards the logging camps. Hence why they are the bigger gates anyway. And if you're going to bust the wall open, probably the gates are the easiest place.
There's a large group of enemies massing there with battering rams that came down on a boat.
Let's go. Let's go speak with the commander. I believe she'd want to know what's going on here.
Green,
Commander Everson.
I think there's time to catch up on the rest of our travels after we deal with the immediate issues.
True. Let's go. You'll easily be able to head in through the lands. The fact is that you still have to kind of cross into the city. And as I said, the city is, I wouldn't say to the burst with refugees, but people have certainly
It's
taken
packed.
to... It's packed. The old city, the old buildings that had been... the city is packed, yet not filled. I think that's a great way of saying it. People have some space. They're not filled to the to the teeth. But the thing is, everybody's spread out as much as they could. So sort of like the tents might be like a couple rooms worth of tents. All the old houses that were like, had been abandoned when the city was kind of like low population because everything that was possibly going on, that's filled with people. It's people have found spaces. They're not super filled, but it's filled. Basically, it's at that kind of like point in time where you probably, as soon as you start taking on any more than this, the city would start becoming like overcrowded. You are crowded, just shy of overcrowded. So it's not like you can't find your way into town and find space there. And certainly speaking, it does seem as though there are soldiers and military stationed throughout the city now that seem to be on patrol heavily at all times. You also get the sense that there are glances that you can see in amongst the people as you're kind of walking through, especially because you do have a hobgoblin with you.
Yeah.
There are some glances. Again, it's not that there aren't hobgoblin citizens that have survived from the Thanelands. It's part of the...
I would actually, before we even get in there, at this point, try to dispel it.
Sure.
So, what was the level of the potion?
Good question. Take a look.
Wasn't a good roll.
That was not a good roll. This guy.
Let me also look up the table, because there's a table that says...
Yeah.
Notice guys is traditionally for a lesser level 5.
Okay. Might be a problem then.
I can. Do you have the table? I can send it to you.
My brain is just forgetting where the letter P is. There we go. Oh, that works too.
I have to always have it on hand.
That's fair.
If you're going by what's in your counteract check, you wouldn't be getting it. Counteract check, and the counteract check says Traditionally, it seems to be counteractive target is rank 3 or less, or rank 5 or less if it's critical success.
Yeah, so, and this was a rank 2nd level spell, so it would be a 4th level, so yeah, it actually wouldn't be. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it technically would count as a. Yeah, because failure would mean no, because it has to be 1 lower.
Okay. And again,
I need a success to do it.
Yeah. It's not that there could not be hobgoblins in town. It's just there's a very slim chance of it, and currently under the entire siege, probably not a great time for them to be here.
Yeah.
Not without being well known or something. You know.
I mean, to be fair, Talas does have full plate. He can probably just have his helmet down, because in theory he has one.
Would the disguise have kept his armor though, or would he be more dressed in armor that would be matching what the hobgoblins you encountered?
That's a good point. Guy's pushing.
I'm just gonna check if it's just physical or. Yeah. I guess because probably not going to do your equipment.
You can change the appearance of its clothing and worn items, such as making its armor look like a dress. Held items are unaffected, and any worn item removed from the creature returns to its true appearance.
Probably would have looked like the thing. I guess what if you want him to, he can take time to strip off his armor, but it would return to normal armor and put it back on. It is full plate. It would take some time.
Yeah.
Probably good to do that on the wall before we get into the.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so we put my armor back on because I took it off because I do have an armor penalty for sneaking.
Okay. Right. So you kind of get out of your disguises as best as you can. Still, nonetheless, it's still you are a very unusual group, and you do get. It's different looks than you would have gotten if you had a hobgoblin with you. Now it's just who the heck are these interesting people?
Yeah. I mean, at least we're with the commander, so...
Jonas is probably not very important, so he's not really recognized.
He's probably not a high-level commander.
He is in fact a volunteer. He's a retired soldier.
Right.
So he's not even in the military now. He volunteered to help with the looking after the adventurous types that were volunteering. Because he has enough military knowledge to be able to kind of act as a go-between.
I mean, if I had to guess, he was probably more like a sergeant equivalent.
Yeah,
there it is.
Basically, high enough enlisted to have duties, but not actually in the the officer rank. Yeah.
It does seem from what you saw, he does command some respect with the guard. So it's he's recognized. But yeah.
Well, sergeant is basically the point in which you could lead small units.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I would put in charge of small units. It makes sense.
Yeah. Jonas will accompany you back to the fortress. The fortress is obviously on high alert. As I described to Ixbanor, the training grounds have been converted to areas of tents, setup, and things like that. So it's sort of it's not that the barracks aren't being used in the city and all. It's just everybody's more ready for battle and stuff like that. And there's a lot more smaller things set up to organize the forces to hold against a siege.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you'll be able to make your way into the main fortifications and quickly and efficiently find yourself in front of Duchess Cersei Everson, commander of Fort Trunk, who will basically with a incredible sigh of you can just tell as soon as you enter, there's this look on her face. It's thank everything right, you are here.
Sorry,
I guess, little one, you can go to them. Shadow is going to fly back over to you. Umbrin?
I'll let him meld back into my arm.
That's strange.
He flies over, lands on my arm, and he just goes... and flattens into a tattoo.
Well, I'm glad all of you are here. I don't know what to say at this point in time. Got yourself into quite a situation. Sorry that you had to, but...
Yes,
The
unfortunately.
situation, unfortunately, gets worse.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get here sooner. They had trapped the lab for us coming back, which caused a significant delay.
We shot ourselves out of a cannon a couple 100 miles off target.
What?
Don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, don't
was
worry about it. There's bigger things right now.
We had a jury rig a teleporter. It's fine. It may have exploded as we left.
You ever seen a bird that shot lasers out of its eyes?
What's a
There's
laser?
a group.
We should get to the important information.
Yes. It's like, I'm trying to be like, hey, time. We have people about to break down the gates. There's a group that have amassed off a ship that came down the river at the near the north gate. They have battering rams.
I mean, I would expect them to, right?
They just got here a short bit ago.
All right. Well,
Also, they were battering rams built to be used by giants.
Yeah, they're battering rams. Yeah, they're battering rams
Well,
made to be used by giant lava giants.
what's a lava giant?
A giant that's made out of lava.
That's horrifying.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's pretty bad.
They had two.
They have two?
I thought they had two.
No, you encountered
No,
a ice giant, a lava giant, and the lava giant was accompanied by a squad of at least a dozen full plate wearing ogres.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will give that information.
Okay.
The exact thing.
Number.
has
Yeah.
left my
It
mind.
left
Yeah.
your mind. That's fine. Master
It did
Ixbanor,
seem that
do you
there-
know anything about lava giants?
was that to me?
Yes.
Can I roll a knowledge check?
Sure. I do believe I said this was nature-based.
So,
Yeah, and I didn't roll well.
Yes.
oh yeah, you. So, I actually, funny enough, I found the rules. Apparently, if you are rolling with a different skill,
Mm-hmm.
it's +5. So I could roll Arcana. Although I do have I have the thing where I can roll Arcana for any recall knowledge check, which I think
Yeah, I think-
identifying creatures counts.
I do believe recall knowledge is an identifying creature check. You are correct.
So,
To the cheat. Okay.
that was a good roll.
From the description given, you believe it's probably a close enough to it. It's a fire giant.
Yeah.
I mean-
I think it's technically a fire giant, who are just kind of burning.
Still, giants are creatures of legend at this point in time. Stories told to children. I didn't think they would be able to have any or employ any. It's terrifying.
We might have a little bit of time. It did seem like they were going to meet with one of the high-ranking commanders of the army was going to come down to meet with them. But I think time is even more of an essence at this point with them right
Yeah.
at the gates.
You heard them mention also that they wanted to, they basically wanted to starve us out more. Starve them out
Yeah.
more. So,
Plan was to.
Well, that was
basically-
the army, but that wasn't these guys. These guys might have other orders.
That's true. I mean, yeah. There was kind of some order conflict going on. Yeah.
It did seem like there was
Yeah.
some order conflict. Yeah, basically, they're like, have something to drink, calm down, don't do anything rash. We have plans here. It's basically it seemed like. So
The giant might have a fiery temper.
is there a way
Mods,
to
kill this man.
sabotage the battering ram? Giant would be threatening, but a giant alone is a large target. This ram, even without it, would be still a threat.
I mean, I don't know how you would sabotage a battering ram, because... I mean, was it on wheels? Was it just one that's carried? Because if it's one that's carried, I
It
mean, it's
would have
basically
been-
a giant piece of metal or wood.
I think I described it, and I'll try to describe it again. It's basically the giant like wooden structure on wheels with the chains hanging
Okay.
down with the massive like metal and wood ram. That most likely it looked as though the ogres were basically, moving the cart along, pushing that, and probably the giant could pull back the ram very easily and allow it to smash into stuff.
I mean, it would, if we got rid of the wheels, they
That would
wouldn't
only-
be able to push it closer.
Still, that would only delay it till they could
What-
repair
what-
it.
What was it made of?
It was made of wood, right?
Wood and metal.
Wood and metal.
Hmm. Sounds like slag
Probably
to
like-
me.
Probably like metal reinforcement.
Large metal chains to carry the giant, metal reinforced wooden ram, but they're just using the wood for weight.
Yeah. I mean, if we could set it on fire.
You
Burn
think
away
you
the
could
wood, it would
infiltrate
make it.
to that place? I don't really have people I could spare to send out there, and you seem to have a knack for moving into the lines.
Problem is, I wouldn't be able to go in disguise back out there without resting.
And Talas, if we rest, Talas's disguise will wear off.
Yeah.
Would we have enough magic between a lot of you to damage it if it gets close?
Unlikely.
I mean,
Now,
I could create one, I could create rubble in the area, and I also could bubble up some fire from the earth.
I don't think I have much that could help.
Perhaps... Calder. You know
Yeah.
the secrets of blast powder? Do you think you could make a lot of that? Maybe that would be useful. Detonate it. I don't know if we have the supplies, but maybe.
I could help with that.
Yes, well,
I did actually. Maybe one of these has it. I start pulling just book after just a bunch of books out of my bag.
I mean, I can make a decent chunk. I can probably get, on a good day, like 28 doses. About enough for a horn. If you got any materials on hand, you could probably get enough for a barrel or two.
It's the only thing I can think of right now with these options. If you can't get out there now, it will take time. Perhaps having, since construction of a cannon would take too long, and we don't have the materials for such a thing like that. Perhaps that's the best bet. I know blast powder is very hard to make and rare, but there's a couple of dwarven smiths that might be able to source you. So it's from them that the knowledge spread.
How much charcoal, sulfur, and fertilizer do you got?
We would have to take a census. I do not know. Charcoal is simple.
Yeah.
Fertilizer, there may be some on hands that was not shipped out, but sulfur. Not aware.
You know, if a lot of people who came in were farmers, you might be able to see if any of them were stupid and brought the supplies with them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, stupid because why would you? People bring way too much when
fertilizer?
they're refugees.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it works out
people
for
are
our
weird.
purposes.
Yeah.
Well, gather up as much as you can. I'm gonna need some empty barrels, crates, old bags, really any suitable, somewhat clean container. And I could make up enough to probably blow up a good few dozen or 100 people.
My thought is, if you're right that it's wood enough, wouldn't we need to sabotage it just enough for it not to function properly?
Yeah, but ideally we could just kill the giant.
You can get enough to do that.
Potentially.
They probably would take less damage considering it's a blast, and they probably have resistances to fire.
That's fair.
I mean, you might be able to kill
I
his
think
Patriots.
I think the sheer
easier.
Have
concussive
resistance to
force
fire,
would be
but
enough
not
to
resistance
just
to concussion.
rip
Yeah.
apart most creatures. There's very few beings I've come across that haven't just gotten obliterated by a sufficient dose of gunpowder.
Out of game, I don't know what kind of damage that actually technically does. So,
Fire damage.
yeah, so
technically
And
There's
some,
fire.
and some bludgeoning damage, but not
Yeah.
a ton.
Bludgeoning and
Yeah.
fire damage, basically, is what it is.
yeah, so unfortunately, the fire might just be negated.
Yes.
Yeah. It's honestly less accurate in that sense.
Well,
but
we
whatever.
could. Well, we could disable their weapon, blow up a good good chunk of their army.
Yeah,
So that wouldn't be too bad.
I mean, I could
We'll gather
probably
those
set it
materials.
ablaze.
Yeah.
Something reinforced like that would probably take some time to burn, though. That's
Most
not-
likely. But we only need it really damaged enough to become unusable. I think with just enough, we could just tear the whole thing in half.
All right, we'll start gathering that material then. In the meantime,
I could also ignite it with a fireball.
That could work too.
since you've brought this problem and it seems like you've got the skills, I'll put you lot in charge of taking care of that, if that's fine. We'll keep you apprised when it's sighted. We'll need you to work on preparing for that. As for our other problem, infiltrators, did you find out something about that?
Kinda. I was able to use that aforementioned laser bird to synthesize a small, non-lethal, noted non-lethal poison. I'll lace your water supply, and then anyone who's a potential skinwalking freak will be outed through a mild allergic reaction.
The problem is,
unfortunately,
sorry,
not everyone is like that.
we
Yes.
found evidence that some people have just turned to their side.
Willingly.
Apparently, in the Swamp Larns, when it was taken over, the head of the one. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say, just the people who sabotaged it weren't in disguise. They were just people.
Yeah.
Who?
Who?
Yeah, who?
Oh, wasn't it the dean of that university?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the notes, but
Yeah, he had a whole portal in his office or something.
Dean oh
And a
yeah, I don't
torture
think we got a
room.
name.
Fact is,
Just
that
the dean.
makes me less worried about the average people. Your poison might be good to weed out anybody hiding amongst the masses. But someone like the Dean is in a position to perhaps negotiate. I have doubts any regular farmer would be able to convince them not to kill them.
Is it possible to find a record of purchase? No, that probably wouldn't be. They'd probably get them secretly. But if every time we've seen someone communicating with the Dread Lord or Dread Army, they've always had emeralds, like the
I'll pull one out.
Yeah.
Nah.
3 of them. It takes 3 of them to activate a communication device.
Something of this size and quality isn't often seen in the city here. I wouldn't be able to tell you if anywhere of it. Most times we see emeralds are in jewelry, already worked. I believe some of my personal jewelry has a few things that have emeralds in them, but none of this size.
It'd be prudent to find out if there have been any purchases of these.
I can have someone
there's
ask for some of the
also-
records of some of the local merchants.
The other thing was this. Hold on. I know. Story was the crystal thing, right? There's like a black crystal. That was like used in the ritual to like.
Oh,
Like,
in that guy's
escape.
office.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, you had to give me some more details than just the black crystal, because I'm like, where? And then you're start driving. I'm like, yes.
Guess I'll write this down on my sheet. I might be done. Because I definitely took it.
I know you took all the ritual stuff that you could for that room.
Yes.
Yep. Anyway, I'll add it to my list. But yeah, it was that black crystal used for that ritual. So I would pull that out. I'd basically be like, it was this.
What's that used for?
To open up a temporary gate to the shadow plane.
Excuse me?
They have a network of gates that lead through the shadow plane that they can travel through to get to other areas. I think personally that might be why they build those towers.
Towers? Gates? I'm afraid you've gone
So-
way beyond my knowledge.
Remember, the towers were built after the place
Oh,
was
yeah.
already destroyed, so they wouldn't know about this.
Well, depending on how big they are, I don't know if they've been seen.
The
It
answer would be
seems-
by no one that's talked about.
Okay. It seems that after a place has been taken over, they build a large tower in the area. I'm guessing there's some kind of base. We have not been to one of them. But that might be where the portals connect to, so they can travel from place to place quickly.
Okay, we need to explain a little bit. So when we went to the lab, they set charges to detonate and cave in the entrance for anyone who came. There was,
Trap.
however,
A booby trap for people that would want to raid it.
Yes.
was, however, a very strange gate that we used to escape. It led to the shadow plane. We followed a path to another location, which led us to the Swamp Larns. There was a giant black tower built just outside the Swamp Larns.
The capital, which
we-
is
Yeah, sorry. I have it.
What's that?
Yeah. And we ended up being able to find our way to the portal room used to travel between locations, and we rigged the teleport to send us here. Well, send us close to here, as close as they could.
For a second, I was going to question why you knew about that, but then I remember my uncle. Of course, he would have.
Yes.
You would have known through him.
In fact, a big part of their sabotage plans, and the reason the Dean was involved, was to sabotage that very portal.
Why would they sabotage it when they could steal control of it? And easily
To
enter into all the
sabotage
other
them from
factions?
to sabotage them from sabotaging it when they left.
Ah. So, it was completely intact?
Not entirely.
Completely.
So, your saying is they were hoping to use the Dean to ensure the portal network was still up, but still someone managed to at least sabotage it enough that we don't have to worry about that?
We shouldn't have to worry about it at all because we're pretty sure that whole place exploded.
Yeah.
We
At
haven't
least not from the swamp ones.
Yeah,
But if
we
any
had
were
to
left-
overcharge that place.
Yeah, but if any were left in any of the other cities, it could be a way in.
Fortunately, we would have heard something. Avanswell would have long since been invaded if the portal network was open. As far as I know, from the capital, no longer their portal collects to nowhere anymore. No connections.
He may have been the only traitor that happened then.
Someone in a position like a dean of an academy would be in a position to try to negotiate, offer something as grand as the portal.
Worrying thing is, what were these people promised? Why would they agree?
Not to be killed.
Only delaying the inevitable, from what I understand.
Some people fear death so much that even buying a few minutes more of life is worth it to them.
Is there any kind of religion based around the Dark Lord? I mean, well, actually, we know there is. We've seen it. But is there, like, some kind of promised afterlife? Is that why all of these soldiers are willing just to die?
We don't know. I think that's the secret that we don't know. The Dread Army has been fanatical, though any attempts to speak with them, it seems as though they are as perfectly sane as you or I. Granted, they seek our all annihilation and death in some form of revenge, but to the ends that they've been pushed and their forces waned. It's the fact that as much as this force here is grand and much stronger than ours, back in the old wars, the first fights, especially in places like the Valor, or even Vangelstan, any of those nations, the force would have been 100 times this that we would have been facing. Think about that. Where are all these forces? They don't have the numbers anymore. Something's been happening. They've been fighting to the death just as much as we have. That's the only thing we can predict. But no one knows how the Dreadlord has gotten them to be that fanatical. When, as I said, when their individuals captured, they seem not
They seem not what?
mad.
Oh. You know, there's word that the Dreadlord, or that wait, hold on. it was theorized that the name
Pulling out some like paperwork that you had and notes and stuff that you had on stuff, you know, looking through them quickly.
yeah, Drawlock, the Dread Elf. Supposedly he was killed. The Dread
Yes.
Lord has also supposedly been killed. Is there just a way to... Do they just bring these people back to life somehow? Armies
Possibly.
and armies?
I've
Fact is that there may be something to that, but there also is the possibility that it can't work on everything. Certainly speaking, Dralek has returned. That is, as you've seen, that is a terrible thing. But there are other of the Dread Commanders that have not returned. And there's been no sign of them in the many years.
There were 13 Dread Commanders, right?
Yes.
And Umbrin saw 13 figures behind the Dreadlord?
No.
No.
Umbrin
How many
saw
people did-
half a dozen.
Okay. Well, there seems to be 6 alive. Still.
That would be less numbers than we thought, also. Which would be good.
Oh.
Because Dralek would have meant that there would have been 8 still alive. Out of the original 13.
Also, that actually is a whole nother thing we need to talk about.
Yes, you did mention
Umbrin-
something there.
I think we need to handle the things at this time. We can get into the details deeper in the future here.
She's going to kind of give you a look and be like, been trustworthy for now, and obviously you've done great for us, so I'll leave it here. But it does seem as though there's more to this than you're letting on.
I will be more than happy to go into detail. I just think with the fire giant and his crew at the doors, we need to deal with that, then talk
Here's-
about other things at the moment.
Mhm. I agree. It's gonna take a lot of time, but it may help save people, a lot of people, because there may be a way to stop the Dread Army, sort of? It was very unclear.
Not here, though.
No, not here.
That's why I'm saying we need to focus on saving who we can here. We can talk about other things on the road or once we get to the capital.
We will still need to hold things off as long as possible. And the fact is that we need to find a way to free up the bridge to the south. We need to make sure those water beasts, those flying beasts, cannot harass any refugees that are escaping.
Agreed.
We haven't been able to figure out some way of stopping them. The flying beasts, sure, we can launch arrows at them, but they tend to fly high enough and out of the way until... Look for the
I do have...
opportunities. The creatures in the water, shooting arrows in the waters.
Yes.
Pause.
Maybe once we deal with the immediate threat, maybe we can construct some kind of mobile covering on wheels that we could wheel, the people we could use to wheel across the bridge to protect themselves.
There's far too many people for something like that to work.
Well, I'm just saying you do it in waves, and then someone brings it back, and you do another wave.
Maybe.
That might
So-
be a possibility. I have another question though.
Perhaps I
Since
can answer.
it'll take a little time for them to get the gunpowder ready. Do you know of anyone left in the city that knows of the old gods and or any books that might remain about them?
Fortunately, I cannot answer you on that one. The old gods are something kind of lost. The high priest still is here. Trinovian. He might be able to tell you something. It is said that his family descends from servants of gods. His mark, his skin, shows of that. He's always been an unusual one, but his words and his deeds have always proven him right in the city.
Taking he can be found at the church.
Yes.
Thank
might
you.
be able to.
That any help would be grateful. This could be a key. If I can find the information I'm looking for, it might be a key to stop the Dread Army's advance in the long run.
And here's what I need for you for now. We will assemble the material that you've asked for assembling the powder. We'll need some form of bombs, at least to try to take out that thing. The poison. Do you think we can replicate it?
I could. Depends on how good your chemists are.
We have a number of alchemists. They don't know the things like the secrets of powder, like you do. Again, outside of dwarves, very few have mastered it. And even the dwarves we have here aren't experts skilled at it. Your guncraft is a rarity, especially nowadays.
I mean, if they're even remotely passable at what they do, then they should be able to, sure. I have some notes on me, I think.
They might be able to assist you in the Wyrm. We're crafters. If not, then maybe they can try to distribute this, get in the water supply. The only other thing is, it's going to take some time to assemble all this. We should perhaps get some rest.
That'd be nice.
If we need to, since it seems like it will take time regardless, I don't want to push you into a position where you're going to make a mistake. Working with something dangerous would be deadly.
Agreed. It has been quite a harrowing trip we've been through.
Second. He's just going to walk to the door. Victor! The Vice Commander is going to come in, kind of give a salute. Vice Commander Svenhond will take you down to the special armory. There's some things left down there that may be of use to you that haven't been any use to any of our soldiers. You're free to take anything. Just, don't take more than 2 apiece.
Should.
Alright!
Fine.
You get access to an armory. I'm gonna put a list in chat. Feel free to take 2 of these. Just let me know what you're doing.
Could you also put in chat how you spell the High Priest name?
Yes, I will give you the High Priest's name. There's a list of equipment. And here is the things there.
Thank you.
So there is when you go down there into the armory, there will be a bunch of weapons, armor, kind of things like that. The weapons can be kind of, quotations, adjusted to a different weapon. I just put them on stuff for now. We're going to put it that way. Same with the armor, just because it's one of those things of like, I know... I did not physically look at what stuff PCs were using, and I'm trying to taper it to, if you want to take that kind of thing, you could. So shadow leather armor, +1 potent breastplate, a wounding longsword, a rooting mace, energizing crossbow, spectacles of understanding, lesser boots of free running, preservers Aeon Stone, quick runner shirt, ring of minor arcana, ring of the ram, charm of resistance fire, nourishing Aeon Stone, smoothing. I think it's supposed to be soothing Aeon Stone. I just mistyped that.
Smoothing it.
Smoothing.
I'm so smooth right now.
A cloak of illusions, Winder's ring, and Nomad's shawl.
Ooh.
Have to look up all these things because I have no idea.
Getting my hands on that wounding longsword would be kind of nice. I can just fucking ditch the longsword and make a crafting check to swap the rune over to my gun.
Okay.
Since, fun fact, melee weapon only runes work with combination weapons. It just only applies to the melee configuration.
So it's when you
That's
use your
cool.
gun as its melee, you use the wounding ability.
Yes.
And you do that to reload, which is really nice. I've noticed that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one of you might want the Winder's Ring that I put in there too. It's a crafting ring.
Yeah, that Winder's Ring is quite nice.
Uh,
Oh, I will,
+1 to all crafting checks.
The hell does shatter?
That's going to be more for you because it's supposed to be
Yeah.
for
For
mechanical
constructs and
things.
clockworks. That is very nice. Yeah, I would like me that Winder's Ring.
That's definitely more you than me. If it were potions, I would fight you for it.
Lamau. I mean, I already have specialty crafting for alchemy, so it's fine.
So you're thinking a wounding longsword and a Winder's Ring for you?
Actually, I will take the rooting mace and the Winder's longsword instead.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe if we put, because I can swap runes between weapons. If I put the wounding rune on Talas's weapon, that could be pretty big.
And Talas could have something like the potent moved over to his full plate.
Yes. It would take me a good bit of time. That's not an instant activity, but it would be quite nice.
So
Yeah.
we could just give Talas some weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, if the shadow leather could just be adventurer clothing, so
Technically, it can. It's a rune.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, you're right.
So yeah, whenever there's runes on something, I can just swap them between
does that
items
take?
Yeah,
with a crafting check.
How long does that take?
I think it's I think it takes a day.
It is a downtime activity.
Yeah.
So it is not fast by any means, but it does mean that any runes we come across are not just dead items if they're on the wrong thing.
What is a rooting mace?
Rooting, when you hit, so it's just a mace with the rooting property rune. Whenever you critically hit something, it's immobilized. And then, as long as they're immobilized, they are clumsy one.
Oh, but you could move that
Onto my gun.
the rune. Oh, okay. You're taking that. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I
I have
think-
a +1 striking base. I was just like, what's a rooting base?
Well, I can apply it to the hammer head of my hammer gun
Gotcha.
because I swap to my melee in order to efficiently reload. And I think I have the second best crit chance out of us behind Talas.
Yeah, it takes 1 day of crafting to transfer a rune.
Yeah. So it's not fast, but
You might be able to do some of that. There is perhaps a siege for a little bit of time happening.
yeah. So I will take me that Winder's Ring. Because
Also, I think
I do love me some crafting bonuses.
because of the way runes work, that shadow armor should also be +1 because you need a base rune to apply another rune.
Okay, so they should all probably be +1. Probably.
Yeah. So the way runes work is you can only apply secondary runes if you already have a
Potency.
potency rune.
Gotcha.
Let's see what's.
Oh, well, that only
Now-
applies.
Now that doesn't mean that you have to have more than just. Basically, you can have 1 extra rune per primary rune.
You know what? The Winder's Ring Actually, no. I do get an extra ability with that. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. So it's just there's like, so there technically would be two, like it would be +1 potent breastplate and then +1 also potent shadow leather, because it would basically.
Well, they
Well, it
don't.
wouldn't- so-
So they don't
they don't-
require a potency. They. Oh, sorry.
Just require. Yeah, they just require the +1.
Oh,
Well, it is. No, sorry, that is a potency rune. But yeah, you're thinking of the
say it.
resilient rune. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does
Sorry.
require the +1 potency. Although those are generally just called, but it doesn't require a resilient. Resilient
Yeah.
is the next stage up, which honestly won't get to level 8 anyway. So.
Yeah. Whenever something has a potency rune, it just means it can have a number of fundamental runes equal to its potency.
Mhm.
Or sorry, not fundamental, property.
It does seem like they give like bonuses too. Like the armor one at least gives a +1 armor bonus.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to see if there's anything that is useful for me.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these as well. I'm looking at the rune
Then
of
let me
minor
grab
arcana.
that mace. And then I will slap a...
Detect magic, mage hand, and prestidigitation.
I mean, there's definitely some ones that are probably useful, but how useful? Question mark. It's up to you.
Do we want to take our break as we're looking over this stuff?
Sure, that's probably a good idea. It's a
Probably a
little
good
bit early, but we can kind of finish looking over
Yeah,
this.
it's slightly early, but I just figured that way
Yeah.
we're not just.
Well, again, like if you want to take a little bit more time to kind of like look over things, we can take the break and do that. So
Yeah.
we'll do that then. All right, so folks out there, if you need a drink, bathroom break, snack, anything like that, go ahead and do that. And we're back in a little bit here with some choices on equipment and such like that, and we'll move into what's happening next. So see all of you.
Yep.
soon. Properly, like that, and like that, and like that, and like that, and hello, welcome back. I know. Okay. What did I? Like some dark and moody music in the background, because there is like a giant army on the outside of town. You know, we need to have like the threat of that just looming over all of you as we're sitting here. The correct emotion. Anyway, all right, so we worked out what everybody's taking. Woo! So what's everybody taking then? Just put it out there.
I'm going to be taking the shadow leather armor to transfer it to my stuff, and the smoothing Aeon stone.
Okay, gonna be smooth as ice.
Smooth as ice. I'm taking the winding ring and that rooting mace.
Okay.
And I am taking the cloak of illusions and the nomad shawl.
Okay, and then we're giving.
And Talas is going to be taking the +1 breastplate and the wounding longsword.
Okay, so got a good chunk of equipment there to upgrade yourselves, and there will be some runage transferring that needs to be done.
Yes.
So the question is, you can either start going and looking for someone to do that, or you can take a rest. And I will tell you,
realize
there
so
are
I can
theoretically places you can spend money in town too.
I can do that because I actually had forgotten to take, like, I kind of knew this and then I still hadn't decided yet, and so I picked something. I'd forgotten to pick up a skill feat at 4th level. And,
Get him.
or more like I was deciding and then never decided. And so when we leveled up, I picked something, and now I'm like, I could actually pick magical crafting instead. That's probably a better choice.
You're like, I can just do this and move the runes over. So you could probably be working on that while Calder is making a bunch of powder.
Yep.
Okay. The thing is, if you do want to send someone out into town to possibly spend money, you could do that too. You do have a bunch of really expensive emeralds.
Yeah, trading some of them for supplies, such as, I don't know, crafting supplies would not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
The possibility that there could be other magical-based things for sale in town that are still there. A couple of the shops are still trying to run things even now as they speak. It's the usual greed of individuals. Hey, there's an army breaking down the door. Buy
There's
my
nothing
stuff.
else to do. We can't leave. So might as well try to
Order is still
commence a
maintained,
little business.
technically. So
It's called a captive audience.
they are truly
Yeah.
captive.
And on top of that, it's just like, well, this is stuff that might be useful for people right now. So
Please buy it. Give me some money that I can spend, hopefully, after we escape from here. When the army is
Well,
totally
I'm ass-
victorious.
it is still the middle of the night.
It is still the middle. Yes.
So I don't think we're going to be able to go buy anything at the moment.
Mhm.
So there are 4 runes I need to transfer. Did you get one with runes, Calder?
Yes.
There's the shadow rooting, the +1 potent, and the
Shadow and
wounding,
+1.
rooting, shadow, +1.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the shadow, the +1 shadow, it is 2 runes. Then the +1 for the breastplate. Then the wounding one, because he already has a +1 on his weapon, so he only needs to move the 1. What did you have for your? Oh, you had rooting, right?
Rooting, and my weapon
You already
is
have
already
+1.
a +1 striking.
Okay, so that's
So-
5. So I need 5 days to move everything.
Yeah.
I can also work out the
Figure out-
price, because technically it does take resources equal to 10% of the rune's price.
I generally think there is prices for most of these.
There
We'll
are.
have to
I'm
look
gonna
it
just
up.
be looking them up.
So it's just the price of the rune itself.
So you should try to figure it out and order, and we can try to figure out what sounds like during the little bit of time that we will have as downtime. We'll have kind of it's going to both be downtime and not downtime, because what I'm going to say is you can all get a rest. Hey, great, cool, be able to sleep through the night. But at first light, the horrors of the siege will begin. And so what's going to be happening is there will be a rain of arrows and catapult shots coming down upon the city at random for pretty much the entire time. They're just chucking stuff at you.
Maybe a dead cow or something.
Mhm. So there's like panic in the streets, and as like catapult shots will occasionally like fly deep into the city when they get a good shot, So yeah, it's not a pleasant situation right now. You're quite literally under siege with the shots just raining down. I want to know what each of you is doing over the course of a number of days. Calder, why don't we start with you, because I'm assuming you're going to be making powder.
Yes.
How much
Whatever
you want to
material-
make? They can provide you with a decent amount of material. Probably not enough to make an infinite supply of basically gunpowder, but you could probably at least make 2 barrels worth. I don't know how long that takes to make. You will have assistants. They will not be great at it, but they will all add you some bonuses. You can kind of say.
That'll be fine. Whatever help I can get.
Mm-hmm.
So, making. So generally, when you're crafting alchemical consumables like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's not very long. It can usually be a 10-minute exploration activity, or if you have quick alchemy and advanced alchemy like I do, it's even faster.
Okay. So I would need a kind of like timeline of making, mixing up 2 like barrels worth of it. I'd assume like they'd probably be like, they're not huge barrels. I assume they're like small containers worth. It's like the
Yeah, so a keg of black powder
Mm-hmm.
is only about, it's like 3d6 it's like 5,000 doses of black powder,
Okay.
which, as you know, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
It only does about 3d6 damage in a 20-foot burst.
Okay.
So it's like 50 gold pieces worth of materials total per keg.
So you could we'll say you could make 2 kegs very easily.
Alright.
Actually, that's interestingly enough, it actually counts as one item of level 6 rather than a bunch of smaller items. So,
how long does you think that will take then? Just as a curiosity.
For 2 full kegs, maybe a day.
Okay, so you're going to be done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What do you want to do after you're done that?
I'm gonna be passing off the poison for rooting out, disguised creatures and people.
Okay.
Passing off any notes I've kept on it.
Okay.
Just so they can replicate it while I'm not here.
Okay, so you're going to kind of give it to them to look after, because you could try looking after it yourself.
Yeah.
Because what I'm going to say is, you will have, at very least 2 days, I'm basically going to be rolling a d4 plus 1, and you do not know how many days you're going to get until I roll that.
Gotcha.
Before the next thing happens. That's why I needed an order for your roots, because you could transfer all of them, or you could transfer some of them. So Ixbanor will need to know the order you're planning.
Personally, I am planning to do potency, just because I feel, and then the shadow, wounding, rooting.
Okay. Cool. Alright. That's good to know. Do you have to roll anything for that, or is that more of an automatic?
So basically, if I fail, then so it's just a crafting. It's just like crafting an item.
Yeah.
Same rules, except it only takes a day.
And then, Calder, I assume you will need some checks though too.
Yes.
Okay. So, Umbrin,
I have.
what are you doing in the meantime while they figure out what their your bonuses and stuff is? Prepare your checks. I will need the checks.
I am going to go try to meet with the High Priest.
Sure. We'll run that out then. That'll be kind of the first day then. You just have to make 1 check, Calder, or 2 because the 2 barrels, 2 keks.
So it gets the DC doesn't change, but the overall costs.
Okay.
Sorry, no, I do have to make 2 checks. That's my fault. Yes, I do.
I was checking.
So I can make another one real quick. Special.
Okay.
Alchemy.
So it's 5, 5.
Take both successes. So you'll be able to manage to craft 2 kegs of black powder. Available.
Okay. Yeah, mine are going to be. I'm just gonna roll a crafting check because it's for different people and stuff. I don't want to have to bother moving items around. So it's going to be 2 DC 20 check. Sorry, 3. So it's going to be DC 20, DC 20, DC 20, then DC 23, DC 23. So
roll the first 2 DC 20s because those are the minimum amount of time you have, and then we'll worry about the other ones when we figure out the time after we kind of go through Umbrin's little side thing.
Yeah.
Ouch. Was a 2.
That is unfortunate.
So I lose the.
Have a hero point. Remember, if you want to
do. I'm gonna spend the hero point. There we go.
Much better.
So now for the second day, that's a pass.
So the first 2
So
you
the
will be
potency runes are transferred.
But I'm going to wait till we do Umbrin's scene here before I roll, because Umbrin's scene is going to be like his first day. And we'll figure out what Umbrin's second day is, since the 2 of you are kind of crafting. Well, actually, we figured out the first day, second day. So Umbrin.
Also, just to remind everyone, make sure you click your rest buttons, so...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, fine. Anyway, you will head for the temple. which is a building that is.
I've been
certainly
to it.
You've been to it. It's very simple, and you basically had a chance to didn't really have a chance to speak deeply with anybody. You spoke with a priest, basically about putting some stuff into the hospital. But you're looking for the high priest now.
Yeah.
So there still is a number of lesser priests kind of hanging around the main temple building, though it seems as though most people are currently in the hospital looking after the very few that are wounded, and also the fact that they're looking after the wounded now that, occasional giant rocks and giant sticks are flying into the city.
Yeah. I mean, I also would probably, while I'm here, ask how our person we dropped off is doing.
Sure. They are theoretically fine. They are no longer at the hospital. They left some weeks ago.
Okay. Well, that's
Where they
good to
ended
know
up,
at least.
They didn't pay attention to where they ended up after there, but they were in decent enough help to move and to leave.
That's good to know at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will ask if someone could direct me to the High Priest Drevonian.
Mm-hmm. High Priest Brackencourse would be glad to see you. Allow us to take you.
Thank you.
You will see a man that has jet red skin and a set of horns. He is dressed in very simple priest robes and seems to be giving basically a confirmation of some kind of a prayer to some older woman.
I'll wait until he's done.
When he's done, he'll quickly kind of turn to you and kind of be like, can I assist you?
Yes, I come seeking knowledge.
Perhaps I can help you.
I do know some things about the old gods. I actually was trained under a priest in a village before. I am seeking knowledge about. Sorry, I'm just looking up the two names. Something that is referred to the fire in the sky, the elemental flame, the burner of suns.
What?
And also, sorry.
What is the other?
The Delver of the Earth, the Earth Lord, the Bringer of Worlds.
Those names are not as particular open to me, but there are some records that are of old days. If perhaps we were in some of the older countries, these kind of records would not exist. In some place like Angustar, the records there are indeed ancient and of the old gods, but do not speak of times before. Here, in these wild lands, on the very edge of the world, the history is hidden deep within it. Did you know that there are old ruins hidden beneath the wildlands of kingdoms long since past, forgotten about when this land was abandoned by man? Wildlands is only perhaps a true kingdom in its right, less than the time that the Great Wall existed. It used to just be territory under no one's jurisdiction. It used to be that the only true kingdom in the east was the Thanelands. The Swamplands and Garden Meadows were just small territories that had eat themselves out on the eastern side of things, beyond the mountains. That was in the time, in memoriam, in the time of the Great Wall. Perhaps that's why there were still such savage beings, at least as would our ancestors who settled this place said. The poor orcs that were chained upon, battered with. I always felt terrible for them. As he's taking you to like an old library and kind of looking through books as he's talking about this. They were certainly many generations ago mistreated. Granted, nowadays, especially with the Dread Army coming about, they've been seen as much more of a positive thing. But perhaps some of the old prejudices of the species that should have been imprisoned still exist. Regardless, there are these lost, hidden things. The history of the Ten Kingdoms is not the earliest of histories. The gods, their disappearance, their death, seemingly happening sometime before what we have as our written history. What is truly lost is so much. Did you know there are other minor gods and goddesses that we know about?
Interesting.
Yes. The main 15 are the ones that are still worshipped. But there is about a dozen more that have, well, jobs that are a little less useful in life. They also may be called demigods.
I do have a fear that the Dreadlord may be one of these.
Perhaps a being such as that rising out of nothing. A demigod. A god that should be dead but is not. These are questions that have come to those of us that study the theologicals. I myself have wandered many of the kingdoms over the last century. My appearance may hide my age, but I was there once the first kingdoms fell. Shame. So much death, so much loss. So much of the great knowledge lost to us. The very few books that are here are copies. Stuff that was remained. Stuff that I was able to gather. And some things that I discovered along my own journeys. Do you understand all the gods we worship still?
I have a decent knowledge. I wouldn't say it is complete.
Each one of them represents a little bit of a fracture of things that are useful for us today. That's why you may say, and many do joke amongst those that are not educated in religion, things like the goddess of silk. She's the keeper of beauty. Beauty begets love many ways. Beauty begets passion. The god of pickles himself, preserver of foods, brings salt to us all. Make sure that we can keep our food for the next season. The greater gods, the god of water, harbinger of rivers, make sure the rivers keep flowing. The little bit of energy in that ensures that fresh water comes to those of us that travel. So you can see, though their titles and pantheons mean very little, the remaining essence of these dead gods still is important. That's why there are certain gods that, unfortunately, their minor abilities are useful. But it's from these minor gods that we can learn about more powerful gods, more ancient gods, especially in some of the great ruins here. When I came to this country about 50 years ago, well, I've had plenty of time to explore a few of the places hidden beneath the ground, to learn some of the secrets, but there are many things that are not to be determined. If you are truly looking into these things, then I can tell you, there are two gods that I know about, which were once major gods, whose essences and true title are lost, but they are so ancient and old, dead before the gods. There's a god of earth and a god of sun. Perhaps they're the two that you speak of, but you know their titles.
I believe these are the ones I'm looking into, yes.
Knowing a god's moniker and titles still mean nothing of determining what they are and seeing if there's still an essence left. To determine if there's any shadow of them remaining in our world is a very difficult. Knowledge of them can be, but a shadow to be called upon by those of us of divine faiths, or those of us that understand the spirits of the divine, is difficult. Is something remaining of these lost gods? I cannot say. That's why your supposition, the Dreadlord is a god or demigod, could be true. A being like that, perhaps reinvigorated by those in the continent, in the barrens. They find something. Their anger, hatred, reawakens it. A being of shadow, being of threat, being of revenge. There are so many questions that cannot be answered with what little knowledge we have of that land. For 1,000 years, it's been cut off. So much history may have been down on that dangerous and desolate place. Lost to time by our ancestors, who were foolish enough to cause everything we know. Granted, it is extreme, the reaction of our enemy. But still, our ancestors brought this about.
Can I confide something with you that does not leave this room?
I swear my dedication to the Rose Gods that I will not seek of what you speak to.
My friends and I discovered that there are places that dive into the Shadow Realm where my people originated that allows the Dread Army to, well, at least some of the Dread Army, it can only take few people at a time to travel through to get to other places. When we traveled through one of these portals, and during that time, I believe I talked to the Dreadlord.
A fascinating thing. Talk to a being as powerful and dangerous as that. That's no mere feat. Only great heroes and kings have perhaps had that privilege before they've been slain. But you survive.
He was willing to listen a little. He is the one who suggested that I look for these two, what he called voices.
Fascinating. There might be more.
So I'm thinking, yes, I'm thinking there could be some essence of them left.
As you are a child of shadow, I too am a child that brings about the outer worlds. Do you know of what my kind is?
I could make some kind of knowledge check.
Sure. I guess you can roll an occult.
I mean,
check.
out of game, I'm thinking probably Tiefling, but
Can be, yes.
let's see.
Same thing, different name.
Ah, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Yes, you would be aware of what Cambion is. Someone that is descended from the servants of gods, basically. The Cambions tend to be more of I wouldn't call them evil gods, but gods that tend to be more base, primal. Because again, like it's your pantheon is a lot less good and evil divided. So
Yeah.
like devils and demons are not as intrinsically evil as you would talk about, though they kind of are still too, you know? Anyway.
I believe you are a Cambion?
Yes. The touch of heaven comes upon us. Just as your plane, the realm of the netherworld, has no longer been touched, those places that are farther off are even less touched. And those of us that descend from the children of the gods, their great servants, are rarer and rarer still. It was perhaps only the old kingdoms that had us. I may be the last of my kind in all the world at this point in time. Last child of what was once the place of punishment for those of our souls that wronged the world. To be punished under them. That was what my ancestors did in the name of our gods. At least not on my human side.
I know the spirits of some of these gods are still alive. I'll let Shadow come out.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the ones I commune with.
I can sense the connections you have. This bat friend of yours seems to be a child of Shadow, of the Netherworld. A fraction of a spirit that ruled there. Your own homeland, where your species descended from. I know the tales of your people during the times of the great portals, when the gods were dying. They fled to our land here. Perhaps survived whatever war or apocalypse was coming upon the gods. But by coming here, you forgot why. I do not know if that's true, but I assume since you're so long ago descended, whatever secrets your ancestors had died with them.
Fortunately, yes.
It's hard to
The
communicate with
other-
ancestors. The other?
The other that I commune with is a spirit of fire and stone.
A servant of the elements may not be a servant of a god, though true. Our world is made up of elements. It's some of the few planes we can still gain connections to. Fire, earth, air, water. Though there are a few others that we have small tastes of. Wood, metal. Those are harder to connect with, but they still do exist. There are others that are ethereals that we have not been able to reconnect with. Places like Netherworld and far beyond them are becoming are nigh impossible to connect with, save for the most powerful of mages, and even then, it's perhaps not the kind of dive you have made. To touch the realm of your ancestors, to see it, to taste it, to feel it, to have your senses immersed in it, must have had a profound effect on you.
It was a strange experience. I don't know if it was... I think it was a sub-plane of existence in that realm. It wasn't
The full thing.
exactly... but maybe just a pocket of it.
Fascinating. But I have kept you too long in this conversation. We should end it for now. I have for you 3 things here. 3 books that may be of use to you. The first is an old journal I made, a copy of it. I've written it out for my own personal things to put in the library here. It's of old ruins of these lands. That might help you. The second book is of stories of some of the more ancient gods, and it does list some information on a few of the other minor gods, and gods that seem to have been lost to us. Again, They are fragments of information, or they may be able to give you an insight. And the last thing is something that I feel like I should impart to you. This third book is a book I could never read. There's a magic to it that prevents any form of reading of it beyond those that would know its language. Or so it seems. Perhaps the magic could be broken, but I never did. Perhaps my divine powers are not enough. Perhaps someone that mixes with, dabbles within another energy could overcome it. But I never had an opportunity to consult a powerful spellcaster that could perhaps use magic beyond my knowledge in order to overcome it. There has been no opportunity in these trying times. I discovered it in one of the ruins I was exploring, well preserved, found in metal. 2 metals. One that seems to shine like fire, and one that seems to be made of almost crystal, juxtaposed against each other. An ancient book, in language that no one knows, not anymore. This may have the secrets you need, if you can decipher it. Then again, maybe a wild goose chase. But I do have the feeling that my services will be needed here in the very end. And at the very least, if someone can carry on what little legacy I have a feeling that you'll have better opportunity to.
I appreciate this help. I do have a friend who knows the arcane arts. Maybe they will be able to unlock its secrets.
Perhaps the arcane arts. Or one that can speak with the spirits. Spirits may know something.
I will see
One
what I
double
can
check.
find.
It was one metal that was like crystalline and one metal that was black.
It was one metal that seemed to a golden
Shine
metal
like fire.
shine like fire, and another that seemed to be made of almost a glowing crystal.
Which could be about the fire, about the earth spirit and the fire spirit and the earth spirit. There could be information on them.
Yep. Well, sun and earth. So.
Yeah, sun and earth. Yeah.
They are juxtapositions to each other that were probably supposed to be primal deities, as far as you've know.
Yeah, and I got all that written in my notes, and I clicked save this time.
I have been taking notes too. This is so.
Mhm.
That's why I asked.
You know, when you're meeting with a 200-year-old campion who's, seen a lot and has been around since the entire war, you get a little information from them.
Yeah, that's why I asked if there was anybody who still, if there was, anyone who had knowledge of religious.
It was a good call. Anyway. All right. What do you... Okay. We know what Ixbanor is doing day 2. Working on the thing. Calder and Umbrin, what are you doing day 2? Calder, I'm assuming you finished up all the gunpowder the previous day. Umbrin, you had some time, basically, arranging a meeting, talking, and getting information and getting these books stuff back.
Yeah.
Talas is
Now
probably
I wish I
just
would have
doing
took the
personal stuff.
glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be. Oh, excuse me. Over the next day, I'm gonna be using Inventor to try and invent new formulas.
Okay. Umbrin, is there anything particularly you want to do?
Well, I posed this to the group first.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go out and buy stuff?
Ooh.
If not, I'm going to probably meditate with my spirits and see if I can unlock any information in this book.
That. I feel like with the new items we got, we should be fine on that for now.
Okay. Because certainly speaking,
Okay,
you
I
could pick
didn't-
up a lot of consumables and stuff like that in town.
Yeah, I was thinking like if we needed any potions, possibly stuff in that, that kind of category. That's why I was asking. because we have the 750 that we can
Some of that
trade with the
probably went
gems.
to moving runes around. So you probably got some materials for that from one of them. But it's only a percentage of that.
Yeah.
Because I think that was you put
Because
that
we
in-
had 3 gems that we were willing to.
I think Wyrm, you put it was 107 gold to move all 5 runes.
Yep.
So, but that would
I
set it
could
up
take
for-
that out of the gem stuff, so we still would have 643.
Yes.
So it's up to you guys if you want me to try to shop, or if we want to hold off on that. I'll see if I can unlock anything with.
You want to put 643 gold in the party?
Sure, and I'll take the gems off. The three of the gems off.
Okay.
So I kind of know what you're doing those days. I guess I'll need a check for inventing a new formula then too, if you're gonna do that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna try and invent a bottled sunlight lesser.
So, hold on. I just noticed something. Magical crafting requires expert crafting. I do not have expert.
Only I do.
Yeah, I was gonna pick. Oh gosh, I was gonna pick that up. I picked expert in stealth, and the next level I was gonna do expert in crafting. If
You could find a person, but you'd have to pay them a price to
Money.
do it. Yes.
yeah, so
I'll
it'd be more than
say-
just the 107.
Yeah, I'll say they'll be relatively nice and charge you, honestly speaking, 10 gold per rune transferred over. An additional 10.
So add 50, so 157.
Yeah.
I'll subtract 50 more.
All right. So you will have 4 days. So you will only the last one won't be complete. It'll be worked on, but the last one you will not have.
Okay, so since we still haven't worked, I still have to figure out what I'm doing for my second.
Yeah.
And
I need to
we'll
now
have
figure out all my days because I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, and
Yes.
then we'll have a day and a half.
Yeah.
Is there stuff that we want to buy?
Oh, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be learning some of those formulas that I have in a giant pile in my bag.
Cool. That is true.
In particular, I can think of us purchasing.
I mean, I could see about healing potions.
Mhm.
I know we have someone who can craft, small ones and stuff too, but extra ones might not be a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could spend a day shopping, and then my last day I could meditate with my spirits and see if I can.
Well, you have 4
Start.
days total. It's 1d4
Right.
plus 1.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I was saying, I guess the only thing that wouldn't have been transferred over would be the rooting ability.
That's fair.
But you'll
I
have
could-
the rooting mace, but you haven't transferred it over.
I could spend a day shopping and then spend the rest of the time trying to figure out the book.
So what were we going to decide with the? Because you just gave me 15, and you're like, okay, you have 15 books that can give you 15 recipes.
Any recipe from, I think it was like level 1 to 5. Honestly speaking, if you just want to choose like 15 common recipes from there, that's fine.
Okay.
It's kind of that way. Is they're all common recipes, so it's whatever. It just says there's level 1s to 5.
Yeah.
Assume it was probably, since there's 15 of them, I guess 3 per level.
Let me look. I think it was. I think it was 14. But yeah.
If it was 14, 1 less at level 5.
Oh gosh, no, 22.
Oh, 22. Oh, Jesus. That is a lot more. Then it would be 7, actually divided by 5, so it would be 4 per level, with levels 1 and 2 having 5 each. Yep, that'd be correct.
4 per level, with 1 and 2 having 5. Okay.
So 1 will have 5, 2 will have 5, 3 will have 4, 4 will have 4, and 5 will have 4. There you go.
Cool.
Cool. Yep. I don't know how long that takes. We can figure that out in between sessions and say you've learned a bunch of recipes. How's that sound?
That works. I'm looking it up. I think it's like an hour per level per.
Yeah,
Okay,
if we need to make like a bunch of
spells.
checks or something, we can do that in between.
I don't think you need checks for this. I think you just need time.
Okay. And then we had Calder was working on new recipes. Were you going to do that all 3 days, developing that, or just after the first one? Okay.
It was going to be a bottled sunlight, an inflammation flask lesser,
Okay.
and a vexing vapor lesser.
What is the DC of that check? Because I can see you rolled a 2.
So the DC, these are all level 2 items except for the vexing vapor. The DC for a level 2 item is 16.
All right, so you made it. So it's low enough DC. You don't really have to worry too much about learning. Gotcha.
Okay, so it's gonna take me 3 days to copy all these formulas.
Hey,
On-
that's most of your time.
Yep.
For each of these
Because
formulas,
it's 1 hour per formula, and it's 22 formulas, which is nearly 24 hours, or 24 hours, 8 hours per day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For each formula, I only fail on a 1, but there is
Okay.
a chance I fail. This is for the inflammation flask,
Cool.
and this is for the vexing vapor.
All right.
Chill.
You've learned your formulas too, and we'll figure out Ixbanor's massive amounts of formula in his formula book that he'll learn. So Umbrin, I guess again for any kind of side shopping, we'll take care of it in between that. And we'll just talk about it at the beginning of session. If you buy any kind of like potions and stuff like that, we can kind of say that you bought a few. Because we're definitely not gonna get into major combats with the amount of time we have left, but we might get into some narrative stuff.
Do you want any checks on?
If you
Me
want to make
trying
a
to
check with your
decipher the
spirits,
book.
I will
Yeah.
need a cult check.
Sure. Because I'm going to do that for the last 2 days.
Then I will need 2 occult checks. We'll see what you roll.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that mace in the party stash.
And come on, there.
Okay. You will not get anything either of those days.
Okay.
And I'll make my.
It is a pretty high DC, I'll tell you that. I'll just say that. So, it's not impossible for you, just improbable for you to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
So. Okay. It will be the beginning of the 5th day. As dawn approaches and we've been having the siege. You know what? I want each of you, and I'll roll one too, to roll me a d20. Because this is going to tell me what kind of damage has been happening to the city. Alright, we got a 7, a 19, and a 20.
I sure
Well.
hope high is good.
Sure! Well,
Oh God, an 18.
it has been devastating.
Yeah.
The attacks have been massive. The fortress has taken heavy damage. The walls still hold, but certainly speaking, basically 4 days of pounding you with siege weapons has been taking its toll on the town. Yeah. So, people, morale is incredibly low. People are panicked across the town. Things aren't going very well at the beginning of this time. But basically, there's a change in energy on the 5th day. First off, the siege weapons will go quiet. and then there will be what sounds like drumming echoing across the land. Thump, 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 thump. As you can see, for those of you that are like approaching the line, can see that a group of siege towers is being drawn out to the front line and beginning to be moved across the field. And of course, behind them is the massive battering ram you saw, led by a full plate armored lava giant, aka fire giant. A full-on battle is beginning. What are you four doing? The military is reacting in kind, though they are staggered right now. The city is also under much more panic than it was. It seems as though there is very little in control of the city, and it is next to anarchy. The panic is real at this point in time. Fortunately, Umbrin rolled enough to not have everything go to shit. Thanks, Umbrin.
I'm guessing lower was better.
Lower was better. This was basically the enemy's attack rolls on you. You all rolled very well on yourself. We all rolled, except for Umbrin.
Yay for bad roll!
Man, why couldn't we get those rolls for something else?
Honestly.
It's the way of the world.
I'm worried about the siege towers now too.
There is approximately a half a dozen siege towers, and they seem to be moving for the northern wall. The towers themselves are tall enough to reach. They seem to be... you can't get a good view of what's pushing it, but there does seem to be something in the bottom pushing it. And you can see that it's like a wooden siege tower with like metal armoring on it. A pretty standard kind of like large tall tower with probably like a plank that they can put down where things can climb up inside it and, you know, kind of go across, and you can have a set of troops at the top to, like, you know, drop in across the wall.
How tall are our walls?
I think I said 40 feet tall. I can check my notes to see, because I'm honestly forgetting. Did I? I'm gonna put another good note on how tall the actual walls are. That's on me. I'll say 40 right now. That seems reasonable for a reinforced, honestly reinforced stone wood wall. Your walls aren't completely made of stone. They are basically, you know, got a stone core with wooden reinforcements. Another reason that the pounding has been pretty devastating to them overall. They haven't broken, but, you know, you had a lot less good stone than you had wood here.
But you said 40 feet. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. Because one of the ideas I was thinking of was I could do some Earth's Mile in the front to try to take out like a siege tower, but that has a range of 30 feet.
Mm. And the towers themselves aren't much higher than the walls. It does seem like they were made just enough to basically cross these walls. Probably be a little harder to get anything taller than that, honestly. And it doesn't seem like they have a huge amount of excess metal to build something tall.
Yeah, unfortunately, on that, because what can I do there? That's only a creature.
So, this will kind of work like, I think I'm going to get kind of some options. Each of you, I'll allow you to basically, like, you're going to be able to do two things. You can each make some kind of action or suggestion for reinforcing the town against what's going on. Then, you can also, as a group, face an encounter if you wish to, at the attack of the wall. That's going to be on you how you want to handle it. So, depending on what you choose, depends on how this will go for the attack. So, it's effectively like, you can basically, like, give a suggestion, command, and kind of, like, put troops and forces in a place against something. It's sort of like, you're not necessarily the one in command of that, but your suggestions as important people could help in this case. And honestly speaking, that's kind of like where we're at, because you can give like advice, basically, to what you want the forces of the town to do. There are two main forces that you have at the disposal of the town right now. There's the main city watch and the dwarven guard. The city watch is the main one. It's the one that's been watching the walls. They're probably the one that's most worn out after the siege. The Dwarven Guard has been helping out with the town. They're probably the freshest of the group right now. But they are also half the numbers of the town guard.
I think we need to have people on the walls trying to attack do damage to the siege towers that are approaching.
That's possible.
Well, the giants pushing the siege towers generally.
You don't have a good
Well,
view
you
of
can't
who's pushing
really
it.
see them is the problem.
I'm going to tell you, it's like those armored ogres are the ones pushing them, if you get a good view of them.
Okay.
Which isn't very easy to, because they are kind of at the bottom of the tower, in the tower.
Yeah, there's the covered ones, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is if
It's not like a perfect cover, but they have like basically like metal plates, very crude metal plates kind of blocking the bottom, like making it the loose covering over top things, you know. It's enough to like, you know, make some blockage, and then they can have them like set up in certain ways that you can have kind of have arrow slits on certain like the middle levels. They can have areas where people can shoot out arrows in the middle levels between a couple of plates and stuff like that. And the top is probably the most armored part of it, with a bridge.
Yeah,
would drop.
my bridge would drop. What?
Well, it gets up to the wall, and then drops like the
Uh-huh.
front down, almost like a drawbridge on the top of the wall.
Got it.
yeah.
Anyway. Oh, it's one of those siege towers.
Yeah.
I thought this was the battering ram. Okay.
No,
No,
they have six of
I'm
these
talking about
and the battering
that.
ram. I did specifically
Okay.
mention they were working on siege towers when I mentioned the siege weaponry.
Yeah.
You are correct.
I mean, we could have them prepare.
I don't know
like,
why
hot-
I thought the siege weapons were going to be like catapults, but okay.
Well, they were
Like
catapults
hot
and
coal.
ballistics, yeah.
Yeah. Like hot coals or something to, when the siege towers get close, push on push down onto them to try to damage them
Do we
and
have
catch them on fire.
So do we have catapults?
The town does have a small amount of siege weaponry that's probably set up on the walls, but it hasn't been enough to like counterattack. And I'm going to say probably a lot of it was damaged in the interim of days of attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have probably a few that work, but they're not in great
So-
shape, and you might have to get lucky with one of those shots.
So we have 2 powder kegs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we definitely need to save one for the battering ram, because the last thing we want is for an army to come through the front gates. Siege towers, while you can generally climb them, it's still a whole extra thing.
They have to funnel through.
Yeah.
And like I
And
said,
they're-
if we prepare them to try to burn them as they get close and damage them, it would make it even
There
harder.
would not be an easy way to get fire onto them, though. Like, they are at the height of the wall, and they're probably not going to get up next to the wall for you to dump stuff on them very easily.
Well, he's talking about after they make connection, we can burn them and deal with a limited amount of.
Like, I guess, like,
thing.
when the forward bridge comes down and hits the wall to, like, have people climb over, you could then throw fire on them there, but then you're also worrying about the people marching into your town, into the walls.
Right, but if it's also if the siege tower is on fire,
But I'm saying that's very hard to do. I
I can't. I'm trying to think of anything we can do
yeah,
against siege towers.
yes.
The only thing you really to do is to try to
Bomb them.
Bomb them, possibility. Again, you do
Catapult.
have, I'll say you at least have 2 heavy catapults still working.
I mean, basically, yeah. So basically, get the fresh crew to man the catapults.
Okay.
yeah.
So call upon the
Uh,
dwarves to manage the catapults. They've been on guard duty and down in the town more or less at this point in time. They're a lot fresher than the town guard, the normal army of the town. Sure.
Because we need them first. We can actually, because we're going to be kind of the hit force for the. I think us four.
Yeah, we're
going
gonna
to
take
the
care
attack
of
force
the.
for the battering ram.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, the full army isn't marching forward. They're sending the towers and the battering ram forward right now.
Yeah, it's the first wave.
And they're all the heavily armored stuff, you know. So it is
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Generally, you have people marching directly behind the siege towers to
Yes.
as protection.
The front line, the front line is ready, but they haven't begun the march, basically.
Because once the people on the walls are occupied, you're not going to have as many arrows raining down at you. So
Yes.
yeah, I get it.
So it's assuming as soon as like they get the walls occupied, they're going to send the front line starting to move forward.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
guess the catapults will have them focus on trying to take out the siege towers before they get to us.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're going to have the dwarven forces man them, and you could probably have, if you want to, basically we can say you could try to get the dwarven forces to take on the siege towers. Is that what you kind of want to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to kind of have the main force do anything right now then?
Honestly, be like rest, but be on guard. Basically, be on call.
Okay.
You
can
know,
kind of try
when the
to,
siege
like-
towers get closer, when the siege towers get, within spitting distance, we want them to be ready.
Yeah. I mean, just launching arrows at siege towers aren't going to do anything unless they are, can catch them on fire. And I don't think they have fire arrows, so.
you don't really have a good supply of like fire arrows. That's not something you normally have in a very wooden-based city.
That's what I'm saying. Is so
Are they wooden walls? I kind of assumed they were
wooden and stone. He's reinforced.
Oh.
There's a stone core to these tall walls, but there's like an extra wooden like layering on top of it, and the top parts of the wall are all wood. Basically, the bottom like 20 feet of the wall is where the stone you have, because again, there's no like decent quarry nearby for quality stone. The amount you have
that makes sense.
used, yeah. That's kind of like where a lot of the buildings here have like stone foundations and are mostly wood after that. You are in a very heavily forested, region. So, anyway. Okay, cool. All right, so good suggestions. So we're basically kind of switching the two forces. Good call on that one, as one is a lot more fresh and the other is honestly not doing great. And they'll try to basically, you guys stand back and reinforce things and do that. And you guys are planning on trying to take on the battering ram, right?
Yes.
Okay. I guess what I'll say is, why don't we do a number of rounds of the 20s? This will be basically for the dwarven forces. So this is another one. You want to get high, and this is on your side. I will permit you guys to use hero points on any of these if you have any remaining. I don't know who has any remaining.
I still have mine. I think the only one who spent one is
me.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'd get it back because the crafting didn't count.
Ah, that's true. The crafting didn't count. So you all have your points right now.
Oh yeah.
And this is basically like, because you're up on the walls with the dwarfs, it could be like you're heroically inspiring them. You know, you're with the front. You are like, maybe you're not true heroes now, but you are people that came back under the threat of army and have like, you know, begin like words of you, especially now that you're all at level 6 and the things you've done are spreading. You know, you guys faced the enemy lines, came back with like needed information, with secrets, and now you're preparing to like, you know, face the siege. You know, you can definitely heroically inspire people a little bit just with your presence. So I guess I'll roll the last one for Talas. All of you can roll a d20. We'll see how well the dwarves do in fending things off.
Okay. I rolled a 20. No, I rolled a 14. The 20 was the previous one.
I'm going to use my hero point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with a 14. That's higher than...
Yeah,
no.
and I'm not happy with an 8, so...
With a 6. You got a 6.
You're a 6.
Oh, a 6. I'm
Calder
sorry.
got an 8.
Reroll and 8's not fantastic.
11? Okay.
Moderately better.
Moderately better, but not typical. And a 20. That's a pretty good roll.
Nice.
Yes, the reroll was better.
Talas rolled a 10. Do you want Talas to reroll?
Honestly, I feel like that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fair, average-ish.
Yeah, I think it's better to save it. Like, the 20 was nice. We got a 14, 11, 20, 10. That's above average, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that 8, I'm like, no.
While the enemy
Or
siege
that's
weapons
6, I'm
go
sorry.
quiet to allow their forces to move forward, as much as they are probably not particularly trying to like maybe necessarily save their allies, they do seem to have a thing of like not necessarily caring too much. It's the fact that it's the siege towers and things that they don't want to damage, so they're not launching a lot of stuff at you. It gives you an opportunity to strike back. Now, the dwarfs will be able to launch out their assault with the 2 remaining heavy catapults that are in action. These, massive pieces of siege things on like the 2 corner towers of the wall. The 2 places where the stone goes above that 20 feet to build into kind of these halves, like a lot more like stone core, tougher places at the very corners of the massive walls of your city. They will launch a barrage down at the towers as best as they can. The gangs manning them quickly and efficiently as these hardened dwarven warriors will stand beside you as like the 4 of you are at like the center gate waiting this massive thing as you can see this giant, just lumbering behind the battering ram, slowly moving towards you as a couple like arrow shots will kind of rang out here and there, oftentimes bouncing off the armor of these massive amount of ogres that are just pushing these huge cart along with this battering ram. As the kind of things fly true, in fact, the dwarfs will have a fairly successful thing. 3 of the towers will fall before they even get close to the wall. But 3
Good.
will make it. And the dwarfs will be ready to hold them off as best they can. Whereas the dwarfs engage the forces now streaming across into the wall. The dread forces beginning their invasion. You can see the battering ram approach and the march of troops forward as the drum beats begin to pick up and the wall of enemies begins to move forward. Your 1,500 versus 5,000. The wall moves in for an assault. Why don't we end it here before we begin? Because this is a really good place. Your forces are holding for now. You rolled pretty good. You did. I did give you the opportunity, and you did roll very good. That 20 helped a lot. I'm not going to lie. So the dwarves.
3 towers down is good.
Yeah, the dwarves may be able to hold against the forces that are coming in here. They may take some hits, but they are a good call on bringing them in here. Maybe giving your other forces time to recover a little bit there. Things aren't looking great, but perhaps you can last long enough. Perhaps the gates will hold. We'll have to find out as the enemy approaches. If it can. All right. Well. Thanks everybody for joining us. Background music here. I guess Joe and Jesse, you don't usually have shout outs, so I guess I'll turn to Wyrm, who has his shout out for today.
Yes, I am Diamond Wyrm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWyrm or at DiamondWyrm on Twitter and Blue Sky or DiamondWyrm9234 on YouTube.
And if anybody else ever has a shout out, just let me know. I'm gonna assume it's Wyrm this time. Hey, join us again next week. It's gonna be an exciting one. The siege has broken. Your walls have not, but the first assault has begun. Can you hold? Can you drive back the enemy? You are defended. You have some forces. But, you know, they're trying to break in. You'll see how it goes. And you got 2 barrels of explosives. So we'll also see how that helps you. How you use that. Yeah. Check out the rest of my stuff. Check out the rest of the things on. If you missed any part of this, or you can't join us live, go to YouTube. And back next week at 8. Check out the rest of my stuff and my social medias and stuff like that. I do a lot of tabletop stuff. Anyway, I've been your DM, Dracovin. I hope all of you out there have a wonderful Wednesday evening, and hopefully you can join us again next time. Until then, farewell to you all.